Ja, nu är alla på plats här, så nu ska vi köra igång med ingenjörsstudenter från Jönköpings Tekniska Högskola som ska presentera vad de har kommit fram till under workshop idag. Välkomna! De kommer ta det här på engelska.
All right.
Innan. I need to tell you a little bit about this challenge. This challenge is, you got this challenge 9 o'clock this morning, or 9:15, so this is 5 hours work with lunch. And you got a challenge to do something within the theme, sustainable solutions to support people with disabilities. And the first task was also then to identify the user. And then you have been out on the fair and got inspiration. So with that said, this is the first group out of 3.
Yes, hello. Can you hear me? Talking into a microphone is very weird for me, but okay. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I'm gonna try. So yeah, we decided to work with this case or this persona, a child that is wheelchair bound most of the time, and that has to transport their wheelchair between different activities. And we identified the problem area as being kind of, it's hard, it's bulky, it's kind of heavy, so we wanted to make a lighter wheelchair that is more foldable. And if Oliver wants to take over and talk about the...
Yeah, and as Eric said, we're kind of focusing on like a wheelchair for a child in particular. But as most of you know, like one of the core concepts of this fair this year is sustainability and circularity. So we started discussing in the group about how can you like create a wheelchair that can help a child today but not infringe on the child's future by impacting the environment. So we put a lot of focus on kind of like trying to find what can you make differently, like on the wheelchair, without actually changing the design? Like what type of materials can you use? What type of manufacturing techniques can you use to both make the entire wheelchair more circular, but also improve like the performance for the user as well? So we took a lot of inspiration from the like the material fair part down where we were staying, and it was a great presentation this morning about like some of the new advancements in various types of additive manufacturing, and like really clever ways of how to use materials more efficiently. So here is from a company that I'm going to butcher the pronunciation probably, Oechsler, perhaps, which they have designed this kind of cushion-like structure using the 3D printing of recycled PET, which we think that perhaps you could do something similar for like the seating of the wheelchair, which could both reduce like the overall weight of the structure, but also make it easier to like really configure it to the user. Perhaps like if it's really warm outside, you can leave it like open like that, and you can have airflow when you're sitting in it all day, for instance. Yeah, and from the same area, like you can probably do something about the tires. So like Continental has these Conti Retex tires, which also use, was it recycled PET? For like the yarn? Yeah, like the yarn that like it's a part of the structure of the tires use recycled PET as well. Next slide, please. Yeah, and for the frame, you could also see like down here in the fair, there was this bike that was made by the company called Canyon, but it was done in like during a fair somewhere in Germany called 3D Pioneer Challenge or something. And like this, the entire frame is optimized and 3D printed using recycled aluminum powder, which both gets like the total uses of the material down, and it allows you to like reuse material. So you can both benefit the environment as well as increasing the performance of the wheelchair. Yeah, and make the entire thing lighter. Who wants to?
Yeah, all right. So we also were looking up making the whole wheelchair easier to transport. Had some ideas such as lighter weight from 3D printing it and sort of optimizing the design of that. But also one thing we wanted to look at was quick release wheels, so you can easily release the wheels from the wheelchair and sort of packet them together, as you can see in the CAD description up there in the leftmost corner. And redesigning the frame so it could be easier to fold, sort of make a nice packet that you can have in a car or where you need to take it.
Yeah, and yeah, some like closing remarks. At least like some of the remarks that we have from the day. There are like really a lot of interesting ways that you can do the same thing that you're already doing, like for a wheelchair, but you're producing it in a completely different way with different technologies. That you don't have to like reinvent the wheelchair to make a really circular or more ergonomic and more easy to use wheelchair. So like the kind of like the thing the group wants to send with everyone is that like things like this that's like supposed to help people. Like you could probably really make a really high effort wheelchair, but you can also make a circular. Thanks.
Jag kan ta den, tyvärr. Ja.
Ska vi se, har ni HDMI? Nej, måste man ha det? Annars har vi har den på USB, tror vi här.
Det hoppas vi.
Vi har HDMI, va? Testa, och, så då är det att köra in den. But now you have to watch them.
Nej, inte det. Ingen USB där.
Ja, gött. Ja, vi kör den här på svenska istället. Så, men vi är projektgrupp 2 och jag är då Albin, Samuel, Isogel och Adrian. Ja. Och precis som gruppen innan så har vi varit här och genomfört ett projekt under dagen när vi har kollat på hur man kan förbättra vardagen för någon som kanske har lite extra svårt. Och det som vi har haft som ledord under dagen har varit sustainability, traceability och intuitive. Ja. Så att det vi börjar med är egentligen att kolla på vem är personen som skulle kunna använda den produkten som vi har tagit fram idag och kolla på. Och det vi identifierade var att vi ville kolla på hur såg våra familjer ut hemma. Vilka personer har vi träffat? Och vi tänkte på en viss Gunilla Karlsson. Hon är 81 år och har under sin livstid jobbat, kämpat, slitit och har nu då gått i pension och ja, hon har börjat få det svårt att komma ihåg medicinen. Hon vet vikten av hur viktig den är att ta, men på grund av att hon börjat få sämre minne så den smiter undan ibland helt enkelt. Och det är där vi vill undersöka på hur vi kan göra det bättre helt enkelt.
Yes, så då börjar vi att med idégenereringen och skissa lite. Vår första tanke var väl att ha någonting som hjälper henne att sortera sina mediciner och även dosera den. Så här är några första skisser och de har väl ganska lika koncept eller tanke bakom alla. Och tanken är då att någon som hjälper henne, antingen vårdpersonal eller någon anhörig, kommer dit, häller i alla mediciner som hon ska ha på baksidan av den här det här konceptet då. Och sen varje dag så distribueras det i rätt sätt då, i rätt mängd till Gunilla då. Tanken är också att det ska komma en påminnelse om Gunilla glömmer ta sin medicin till då de anhöriga eller vårdpersonalen. Vi hade mycket hållbarhet och funktion i fokus. Och om vi går vidare till nästa slide så har vi vårt slutgiltiga koncept. Och då ser ni det är ganska likt kanske en kaffemaskin. Det var så vi såg det i alla fall. Och på baksidan då, där man vanligtvis kanske häller i kaffe och boy och grejer, så häller man istället i pillerna då. Och sen varje dag så distribueras den till Gunilla. Om hon ska ha då medicin A, C och D på måndag kanske, så kommer det ut så många hon ska ha. Och sen nästa dag kommer det utav B och E då som hon ska ha den dagen. En annan tanke som jag hade att den var uppkopplad då, till exempelvis med något som kallas GSN som vi hittar här på mässan idag. Och då var det då gör att det skickar signaler till anhöriga om hon har glömt sina piller. Även en sensor som känner av ifall hon har satt sin kopp under maskinen så att hon inte råkar vifta till och häller ut medicin över sig själv. Yes. Det var väl egentligen det. Vi kollade lite på material också då. Men jag tror vi ska snacka lite mer om det kommande slides, va?
Jag kan nämna snabbt att vi hittar ett material här med hjälp av polykemi som heter PPRBK som minskar utsläppen med ungefär 61% i jämförelse med ABS plast. Så därför valde vi att använda det. Och under hela vår utveckling av det här idén så har vi haft hållbarhet i åtanke och vi har involverat alla tre aspekterna. Vi vill höja levnadsstandarden för äldre personer i samhället. Vi använder återvunnet material och vi har effektiva processer i vår produktion. Och vi kommer ha ekonomisk tillväxt och genom att generera mer arbetstillfällen för människor i samhället. Och vi vill även passa på att tacka följande företag som har inspirerat oss under dagen som vi har pratat med. Och vi kommer från Jönköpings University. Tack för oss.
Ja, då ska vi se här. Har ni HDMI? Har du HDMI? Ja. Yes, då kan vi se här. Så. Så där får du den. Kom igen Jonas.
All right, hello. We are going to be doing this in English, so back to English for this one. We've been working on a concept that we call eldervate, which taking you back to your younger days. This is Arnafan, Pavan, my name is Hugo, and this is Jonas.
Okay, next slide, please. Okay, what are the biggest challenges that the elderly people face? I mean, I am 28, but I am still feeling some of them. Okay, the first one is dementia and falling down, hearing and vision loss, incontinence, and standing up. Yep, standing up is one of the biggest challenges that the elderly people face, even like I face that sometimes. And I have one friend who is always bitching about that one. And do you know that 24% of the adults are suffering from arthritis? I hope that you all know about arthritis. I hope that you will do in the future. Like in persona, so we selected like two of the most wonderful people. This is Leif. He is 78 years old. He has knee pains, retired mechanic, wants to work on his cars because he is a mechanic, and lives with his wife. Good vision, bad hearing, social, spending time with family and friends. And this lovely lady is Agda. She is 85 years old, want to be active but restricted by children, and a bit forgetful and stubborn as well. Like spending time with grandchildren, vision and hearing loss, gardening, and house too large to take care of, and also she uses stroller. Okay, next slide. Okay, so like for these two people, they face some kind of a scenario like in the past few days. The one is Leif. He was going to work on his car, but when he found the problem and got down on his knee to repair it, he couldn't get up. Poor guy. And so the scenario two, Agda. So she was facing also another problem. She was going to garden, so she went to the garden with her tools, and she got down on her knees to soil the garden. But also, she had some problem in getting up. So, we introduce you to the elder weight. This is our product, one and only. So, basically, like the user, Agda or Atif, any who elderly, so basically, they put their knees on like this cushion, and they bend. And because of these have like spring sort of mechanisms, so when you need to get up, you just need to push a little bit more, so you have like a back push. So that's how you get up. So for the material selection, so we selected 3 materials for our product. The first one, for the cushioning part, we use this kind of hollow material. And and it's kind of like a 3D printed lattice material. And for the overall structure, we use this material. It's called neoline, sorry. And so it is made out of 80% of wood, and also like some sort of plastic, like composite material. And like for the springs, we use leaf spring. And the company is Spiral Specialist. Okay, yeah. For the sustainability aspect, I'll give the mic again to Hugo.
Or is it? I don't think yeah, whatever. I got this. Don't even worry about it. So the first, obviously, we took the user into consideration, and the SDG goal number 3 is about good health and well-being. So the aspect that we sort of introduced here is taking care of our elderly people and making sure they're still able to do the work that they want to do and stay active in the ways that they would like to do. In terms of the society, we have a sustainable consumption in terms of recycled material and also material that can be repurposed for other purposes if that is needed. And in terms of working with industry suppliers and our fictional company as a whole, sustainable production patterns will be implemented and sustainable industrialization. The materials of the product will achieve this through close sourcing, so keeping the sourcing of the material close to where we are operating, and the manufacturing will also be done as close as possible to where we are operating and selling the product. So, thank you for listening to our TED Talk.
Thank you so much. What a result after 5 hours. I think you need to be proud. It was a challenging, theme you got, and also a challenging task. For those of you who have listened, this is also a part of a course, a big project course, so you were in a way challenged to do everything you do in a semester in 5 hours. So I think you succeed really good. Thank you very much for your efforts.